Time now for business news on the news at 10 with Adeshawa Josh.
You first. First Bank.
Good evening. Welcome to Business News. The depository of the Nigerian capital market has been awarded the international standards in information security. Known as the Central Securities Clearance System, the management of the depository received the ISO 27001 certification on Tuesday at a formal presentation ceremony in Lagos. The management of the depository believes this will help boost investors' confidence.
A major and significant milestone in the sense that this is a process-driven certification. By that I mean whatever we do, we have to ensure that we safeguard the assets that are given to us in custody in a very secure manner, whether we're transporting the information from us to participants or within the organization, we ensure that all of those processes are maintained.
Nigeria's telecommunications sector contributed 1.64 billion naira to GDP in the final quarter of 2015. That's about 8.88%, a slight increase to the 8.76% contribution recorded in the same quarter of 2014. In a report released today by the National Bureau of Statistics, between the fourth quarter of 2014 and 2015, the number of subscribers increased by 11.97 million, a slightly lower growth rate than in prior years, as market penetration is already high. There was a higher number of GSM subscribers, accounting for 98.45% of the total users in December 2015, followed by the CDMA with 1.42%, while fixed wired and wireless make up 0.08% and 0.04% respectively. The holding company of Nigeria's largest commercial bank, Iheanacho, today released its 2015 financial statements showing a year-on-year gross earnings growth of 4.9% to 505.2 billion naira. The report issued before market close, however, reveals pre-tax profit slump of 77.1% to 21.5 billion naira. Iheanacho Holdings' profit after tax was also reported at a whopping decline of 82% to 15.1 billion naira from 84 billion naira recorded for full year 2014. A cash dividend of 15 kobo has been proposed to shareholders. The bulls made a comeback at the Nigerian stock market after 2 days of negative trading. In 3,240 deals, traders exchanged over 212 million shares for a value of 1.5 billion naira. Bolaji Akinwale has more.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. The local bourse halted its 2 days losing streak to add 24 basis points to the key benchmark index and total market value. In 3,240 deals, traders exchanged over 212 million shares for a value of 1.5 billion naira. The All-Share Index bettered at 24,823.86 with a total market value of 8.53 trillion naira. Transactions came out impressive with a market breadth of 22 gainers to 8 decliners. QTix led the price gainers chart with 8.33%, with Honeywell increasing 5.19% and Agile Aventis closing upbeat 4.88%. Belgium Paint was the topmost decliner by 4.95%. Air Service and Stanbic IBTC trailed similar parts. The market volume was boosted by the banking stocks led by Axis Bank's over 54 million shares following its impressive Q1 earnings. FBN Holdings and Zenith Bank also joined in the race. And that's a wrap on the Stock Market Report. I am Bolaji Akinwale.
Thanks a lot, Balaji. Let's also check out closing figures from other markets around the world. that's business news tonight. The news at 10 continues in a moment. I am Adeshewa Josh.
You first. First Bank.
As part of activities marking the 2016 World Malaria Day, Access Bank, in partnership with the Private Sector Health Alliance of Nigeria, Corporate Alliance for Malaria Africa and GBC Health, held a private sector roundtable with the theme Malaria Elimination in Nigeria, Challenges and Opportunities for Investment. At the event in Lagos, private and public sector organizations signed a joint declaration for a campaign aimed at eradicating cases of malaria through technical and financial resources.
It's not a large gathering, but one with a mission: to mobilize private capabilities towards government's malaria pre-elimination agenda. Although malaria mortality rates in sub-Saharan Africa have declined by 66% between the year 2000 and 2015, going by the World Malaria Report 2015, Nigeria still contributes a high burden of global malaria morbidity and mortality.
The first step is, can we, through disruptive methods, reduce the amount of malaria incidences by 1 million cases? All we need is just 5 billion naira. That's what we're seeking for over the next 3 years or so. And I think this year, the target is 500 million naira. Nobody will come to solve our problem for us. We have to step up and actually solve this problem.
Pulling funds together to invest in environmental control, diagnosis, treatment and public enlightenment is one sure way of addressing this public health challenge. However, there's more to be done.
Bed nets are good, drugs are good, indoor residual spraying is good. We should actually invest to be part of creating the solution, not just absorbers of the solution that is developed from somewhere else. ACT, well, artemisinin is a Chinese herb. The bed nets, they're really not done here. Let's invest in building the capacity that can actually help us get to the elimination and ultimately eradication target.
I think this is laudable, and if everything goes very well, I think we're in the right path to eliminating malaria in this environment.
Till recently, private sector engagement in the health sector has been uncoordinated and indeed fragmented. And so the Private Sector Health Alliance creates a platform to pool private sector resources, capabilities and expertise to have impact at scale that is larger than underlying corporate initiatives.
Already, some private institutions such as the Dangote Foundation, Zenith Bank, Stanbic IBTC and Access Banks have begun funding the malaria pre-elimination agenda. More private and public sector organizations have also put pen to paper in a joint declaration to ensure zero malaria infection in Nigeria.
Let's quickly shift gears now to sports stories with Charles Saruka.
Many thanks, Gimba, and welcome to Sports News. A jury has ruled that the 96 football fans who died in the Hillsborough disaster were unlawfully killed, thereby overturning the 1991 verdict of accidental death. According to the jurors, the behavior of fans did not cause or contribute to the tragedy, which happened when supporters were crushed before an FA Cup semi-final between Liverpool and Nottingham Forest on April the 15th, 1989. They concluded that both the police and the ambulance service caused or contribute to the loss of lives by an error or omission after the crash had started to develop. The Crown Prosecution Service says it's considering whether to pursue criminal charges. And in the UEFA Champions League, Nigerian international Kelechi Iheanacho made his debut as Manchester City held Real Madrid to a goalless draw in the semi-final first leg at the Etihad Stadium. Iheanacho came on as a 40th minute substitute for Spanish international David Silva, who left the pitch injured. Chances were scarce for either side in a game missing Real Madrid superstar Cristiano Ronaldo because of a thigh injury. Madrid pressed in the final quarter as Joe Hart denied Casemiro and Pepe. Atletico Madrid will face Bayern Munich in the second semi-final tomorrow. In table tennis, the International Table Tennis Federation has confirmed 26 Nigerian international and national umpires will be on duty at the ITTF Nigeria Open in May. The ITTF has also named Egypt's Mohamed Dawlatli and Nabil Al-Mamoun as the competition manager and referee, while Algeria's Boujehem Abdallah will be the assistant referee for the championship. The Nigerian Open is the highest prize money tournament in the Challenge Series of the ITTF World Tour, with players jostling for 13.8 million naira. The players will compete in 6 events, which include the men and women's singles, the doubles events, as well as the under-21 boys and girls. And that's it on Sports News. It's back to Gimba with the rest of the news at 10.
Several communities in South Africa are gearing up for a fight against some Nigerians whom they allege are selling narcotics that are destroying the lives of their youth. Just last week, a Mahikeng community in Northwest sent a protest to the police to come to their aid as they battle drug peddlers. Earlier this month, a Nigerian man was killed there for allegedly being a drug lord. And the main news again. The President today met with the leadership of the National Assembly to resolve the impasse on the 2016 budget. The meeting held this evening at the Presidential Villa. Senate President Dr. Bukola Saraki says that the document will receive the President's assent in a few days. Also today, the Managing Director of the Kaduna Refinery and Petrochemicals Company assured Nigerians that the plant will tomorrow resume daily production of 2 million litres of petrol. And that's all been on the news at 10 tonight. I want to thank you so much indeed. On behalf of everyone here, have a splendid night rest. Good night.